The 14 oldest animal fossils in strange poses, recently discovered, have shocked archaeologists. For archaeologists, the discovery of new fossils is incredibly special. It gives experts the chance to learn about creatures from millions of years ago. Some fossils are truly unique, such as the 46-million-year-old mosquito fossil still containing blood in its abdomen, or the oldest sperm fossil in the world, which has amazed scientists. However, what surprises archaeologists even more are the discoveries of giant prehistoric fossils. Can you imagine a dinosaur fossil as tall as a 7-story building, or a snake weighing over a ton, or even giant crocodiles with terrifying sizes? These discoveries not only astonish, but also raise questions about the lives and existence of these enormous creatures in prehistoric times. What do you think about these giant creatures? Did they really exist like this in the past? Let's explore these mysterious fossils in today's video. 560-million-year-old marine animal fossil. British scientists have discovered the fossil of a predatory marine animal that lived during the Ediacaran period, 560 million years ago. The specimen, unearthed in Charnwood Forest in Leicestershire, central England, could be the ancestor of today's Cnidaria, including jellyfish, which contains 11,000 species, most of which live in marine environments. The research team named the new species Aurora lumina attenboroughi, with the first part meaning dawn lantern in Latin, and the second part honoring the legendary British naturalist Sir David Attenborough. With an age of 560 million years, this species is the oldest known carnivorous animal, appearing 20 million years earlier than the previous record holder. This creature used its dense tentacles to catch food in the primitive oceans of Earth. Its 20 centimeters long fossil is imprinted on a slab of sandstone, surrounded by other fossilized forms. It was likely buried in a flow of lava and volcanic ash running down a steep underwater slope. The remaining imprint on the slab suggests it had a branched body and was protected by a continuous skeleton. Part of the skeleton was embedded in the seafloor, which we can't see. Unfortunately, the fossil is incomplete. This is the oldest skeleton we have ever known. Although only one fossil has been found, there could be many more specimens out there, holding the key to the moment when complex life began on Earth, which researchers and archaeologists must explore further in the future. TankLike dinosaur fossil. One of the recently discovered dinosaur fossils, preserved in the best condition ever, features a set of scales unlike any other armored dinosaur. This dinosaur, named Borealopelta markmicheli, was like a Humvee armored vehicle from the Cretaceous period. Despite its impressive size, similar to a tank, this dinosaur also had scales that helped camouflage it and avoid being eaten. Spectral analysis of the scales of this 110-million-year-old herbivorous dinosaur reveals the presence of pigments. Its upper body was darker, while its belly was lighter. This is a camouflage technique known as countershading. Researcher Jakob Vinther believes that colors in animals are often used for showing gender, regulating body temperature, communication, and other purposes. But in this new species, such pigmentation also helped them hide from predators. If detected, their heavy steel-like armor would protect them from harm. However, the massive size of Borealopelta markmicheli made it difficult for this herbivorous dinosaur to escape. Scientists can study its 3D armor structure thanks to the remarkably well-preserved fossils. Caleb Brown from the Royal Tyrrell Museum of Paleontology said, "Typically, when we find dinosaurs, we often find small bone fragments and sometimes soft parts. But in this case, the entire skin on the front of its body has been preserved, so it looks like we're looking back in time to the Cretaceous period." Initially, these fossils were thought to be the oldest ever found in Alberta, Canada, when they were discovered by an excavator operator 6 years ago. Now, they are on display at the Royal Tyrrell Museum of Paleontology. Mermaid fossil from 12,000 years ago in Yugoslavia. When people mention mermaids, they immediately think of the character The Little Mermaid from the fairy tale by Danish author Hans Christian Andersen. However, mermaids are not merely a product of imagination, as archaeologists have discovered fossils of a half-human, half-fish creature in several parts of the world. In 1991, scientists unearthed the first intact fossil of a mermaid and found that the beautiful mermaid from the legends might have been a fierce, dangerous predator capable of killing marine creatures and unfortunate sailors, much like a bloodthirsty shark. The fossil, discovered in a limestone slab on the coast of Yugoslavia near the seaside city of Šibenik, Croatia, was perfectly preserved. It had a mouth with strong jaws and razor-sharp teeth. This creature was female and likely roamed the oceans about 12,000 years ago. It died in a landslide beneath the sea, was encased in limestone, and gradually turned into a fossil. This is the most complete mermaid fossil ever found in the world. This shows that this species went beyond myth and fiction. They really did exist in our world. It also demonstrates that mermaids are vastly different from the beautiful mermaids in fairy tales. They were actually vicious predators that survived by eating their prey. The female mermaid, as depicted today, is often portrayed as a beautiful, graceful being, quite different from the real-life version of 12,000 years ago. Though the mermaid fossil discovered on the coast of Yugoslavia had a rather crude and ugly shape, this does not lead to a general conclusion about all mermaids. Just like with human populations, mermaids might have had many different types, races, and ethnicities. This is especially plausible given that mermaid legends exist around the world, not just in one specific region. Spiked dinosaur fossil. The ankylosaur dinosaurs from the Cretaceous period are best known for their armor-like backs covered with sharp spikes, and until now, their fossils had only been found in North America. However, this time, scientists have discovered a unique ankylosaur fossil from the Middle Atlas Mountains in Morocco, making it the first ankylosaur found in Africa. Upon examining the newly discovered fossil, researchers noticed that the sharp spikes were attached directly to the skeleton, a feature never seen before in dinosaurs. Typically, the spiked armor of Stegosaurus and ankylosaurs is connected to the skin, not to the skeleton. In this case, the spikes were not only firmly attached to the skeleton, but also connected to the ribs. This indicates that it is completely different from any previously discovered species. The fossil dates back to the Middle Jurassic period, about 168 million years ago, suggesting that this dinosaur might have been one of the first ankylosaurs on Earth. This discovery marks the first ankylosaur from Africa, from a very early period. Ankylosaurs are well known in the northern continents, especially North America and Asia, but they are rarely found in the southern continents. Therefore, this discovery in Morocco also suggests that many more fossils could be found in this mysterious dark continent. Giant ant fossil 50 million years old. Ants are typically known as small insects that wander around and work in groups. But what if, about 50 million years ago, some species were as large as a robin? Recently, a research team from Simon Fraser University discovered a fossil of a giant queen ant in Canada, specifically in British Columbia. Titana myrma, an extinct species of giant carnivorous ant, was first found in North America after previous discoveries in Germany and the UK. Interestingly, this extinct giant ant was large enough to have a body mass equivalent to that of a robin, with a wingspan of 31 centimeters. After discovering the fossil, researchers compared it with another Titana myrma fossil found a decade earlier, which is preserved in a museum in Wyoming. This newly discovered ant and the fossil from British Columbia share the same age as other Titana myrma fossils previously found in Germany and the UK. This raises the question of how these ancient insects managed to travel between continents, appearing on both sides of the Atlantic almost simultaneously. In the past, Europe and North America were connected by land through the Arctic, researchers noted. However, there are questions about whether the climate at that time would have supported migration. The team also discovered that the largest modern-day queen ants only live in hot climates, primarily in tropical regions. This suggests that the size of these creatures would thrive in high temperatures and would not survive in cold environments. However, this creates a dilemma, as the more temperate climate of the Arctic would not have been warm enough for Titana myrma to cross. Ice Age mammoth fossils. Well-preserved mammoth bone fossils have been found, belonging to 2 adult mammoths, 2 near-adult mammoths, and 1 newborn. Their bones were discovered alongside a Neanderthal hand axe and small flint scrapers, which were used to scrape animal hides in a cave near Swindon in Wiltshire, southwest England. The artifacts at this site were so well preserved that archaeologists also found bones of brown bears, steppe bison, seeds, pollen, delicate beetle wings, and freshwater snail shells. All these findings contribute to unraveling the story of the environment at the excavation site hundreds of thousands of years ago. This helps researchers understand more about the appearance of Neanderthals and the lives of ancient human ancestors, alongside giant creatures like mammoths in the context of rapidly changing climates. However, research is still ongoing to explore why this site contains so many mammoth bones and whether they were hunted by our Neanderthal ancestors. Researchers estimate that Neanderthals inhabited the area from 210,000 to 220,000 years ago, before the dramatic temperature drop of the Ice Age caused their extinction around 200,000 years ago. Currently, there is no evidence to suggest they lived there between 60,000 and 180,000 years ago. Other fossils, including tusks, leg bones, vertebrae, and ribs, were also found from a smaller species of steppe mammoth, which was less hairy than the descendants of the woolly mammoths. Some steppe mammoths reached 4 meters at the shoulder, but the small bones they found suggest that these creatures had shrunk in size to cope with the increasingly cold climate. Fossil of the largest flying reptile in Australia. With a wingspan of 7 meters and a mouthful of sharp teeth, a newly discovered pterosaur species may have ruled the skies of northeastern Australia about 110 million years ago. This is the largest pterosaur ever found on this continent. The discovery is of great significance, enhancing our understanding of the diversity of pterosaurs in Australia. Scientists have named the species Thapungaka shawi. Fossils of pterosaurs in Australia are extremely rare. Like modern birds, their bones were optimized for flight, being hollow and fragile, which is why very few have survived to the present day. Fewer than 20 specimens have been described from the continent, and only 3 prior to T. shawi were named. The description of this creature is based on a piece of its lower jaw. It was named after the researcher who discovered it, Len Shaw, and incorporates a term from the language of the Wanamara people. According to the research team's reconstruction, the skull of T. shawi would have been around 1 meter long with approximately 40 teeth. This flying monster once soared over the Eromanga Sea, dominating eastern Australia, using its long, powerful jaws to catch fish from the water's surface. Researchers also found evidence of a large, bony crest at the base of the jaw. From this crest, scientists were able to estimate the size of the pterosaur. This suggests that Australia's pterosaurs were on par with their contemporaries from other continents in terms of size. Fossil of a giant prehistoric turtle. Unearthed in Guizhou Province, China, this fossil features a peculiar beak, no teeth, and a smooth body. It has been named Eorhynchocoelus sinensis, meaning the first beaked turtle. This turtle species lived during the Triassic period, when dinosaurs began to dominate Earth. Measuring 2.5 meters in length, it surpassed the size record of modern leatherback turtles, making it the largest turtle species ever known to humans. Recent studies have revealed the fascinating role of the turtle's shell. It was used for digging, not for defense. The shell supported the turtle's limbs as it moved sand and dirt. For the scientific community, this newly discovered fossil has shed light on the evolutionary process of turtles, a topic that has sparked debates among biologists for centuries. Progonocales is the oldest known turtle species, with a fully developed body and sharp shell. In 2008, the species Odontochelys semitestacea was found with a shell covering its belly, which surprised scientists. The beaked turtle fossil recently unearthed is evidence of the phenomenon of modular evolution. Modular evolution is the idea that different traits of a species can evolve independently at different rates. This is why not every descendant will inherit the exact traits of its ancestors. Modern turtles have both a shell and a beak, but the evolutionary path to this form was not a straight line. Instead, some turtle relatives had partial shells, while others had beaks. Genetic mutations through natural selection are what led to these features. Fossil of a millipede as large as a crocodile. Many people fear millipedes because of their appearance, but most of them are quite small, with the largest living species today, the giant African millipede, growing up to 30 centimeters long. If you think a 30-centimeter millipede is scary, consider yourself lucky to live in modern times rather than in the past, when millipedes could grow as large as a crocodile. In 2018, a large block of sandstone broke off from a cliff in Northumbria, England, and fell about 6 meters to the beach below. A paleontologist happened to be strolling along the beach and found the rock, realizing it contained the fossil of a giant millipede. The research team from the University of Cambridge later analyzed the fossil and determined that the creature was part of the Arthropleura genus and lived about 326 million years ago. The fossil lacked a head, but the creature was estimated to have been 55 centimeters wide, 2.63 meters long, and could have weighed 50 kilograms when alive. This size made it the largest known invertebrate species at the time. Dr. Davies said, "It was definitely the largest arthropod to have ever appeared on Earth. It was so large that it required 4 people to transport it. In fact, this may not have even been the largest size it reached, as researchers believe the fossil represents only the shed exoskeleton, suggesting that the creature could have continued to grow larger." Fossil of a sea monster with saw-like teeth. At the Sidi Chenain phosphate mine in Karibga province, Morocco, miners working there discovered the remains of a marine reptile resembling a lizard, known as a mosasaur, that lived during the age of dinosaurs. After researchers examined the specimen, they noticed that its unique teeth had features never seen in any other reptile, living or extinct. The research team named this newly discovered sea creature Xenodens kalanishari, with the genus name meaning strange tooth in Greek and Latin, and the species name meaning saw-like in Arabic. The saw-like teeth likely helped X. kalanishari create a shark-like bite, which may have been key to its survival. However, X. kalanishari was not large, about the size of a dolphin, so it likely relied on agility and its weapon-like teeth to overcome underwater threats. During the late Cretaceous period, when X. kalanishari roamed the seas, Morocco was covered by a tropical sea filled with predatory marine animals, including other mosasaurs, long-necked spiny-tail fish, giant sea turtles, and swordfish. The researchers wrote in their study that X. kalanishari's unusual teeth may have given it a unique hunting strategy. According to senior researchers at the National Museum of Natural History in Paris, a mosasaur with shark-like teeth is a novel adaptation among mosasaurs, so surprising that it seems like a creature out of an artist's imagination. The discovery of X. kalanishari also adds evidence that the marine reptile ecosystem, as well as the biodiversity of Morocco, thrived during the late Cretaceous period. Fossil of a giant 180-million-year-old sea dragon. A giant marine reptile from the same era, resembling a dolphin, is officially known as an ichthyosaur. These creatures appeared about 250 million years ago and went extinct about 90 million years ago. This nearly complete fossil was discovered in February 2021 at the Rutland Nature Reserve in England. When experts drained the water from a lake to recreate the landscape, they discovered fossilized vertebrae sticking out of the mud. The fossil is nearly 10 meters long, with a skull weighing 1 ton, and scientists affectionately refer to it as a sea dragon. These prehistoric creatures were at the top of the food chain, apex predators. However, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and who knows, future discoveries may reveal even more interesting facts about these sea dragons. Fossil of a snake weighing over a ton. In 2009, scientists discovered the fossil of what is believed to be the largest snake in the world, with a length of up to 13 meters and a weight of over 1 ton, found in the Cerrejón region of northeastern Colombia. This snake species was named Titanoboa carajonensis, meaning giant snake from Cerrejón. According to a description published in Nature Journal, the Titanoboa was at least 13 meters long and weighed about 1,140 kilograms, with a body width of at least 1 meter. The research team stated that this reptile lived around 58 to 60 million years ago, after the dinosaurs and many other species went extinct 65 million years ago. This giant snake was larger than bison and longer than a bus. As such, the Titanoboa was capable of eating animals the size of cows, and it could likely have swallowed a human instantly. Experts hope that the discovery of this giant snake will open the door to further research into the animals that replaced dinosaurs in the ecosystem during that time. Fossil of a 7-meter crocodile. In 2012, Dr. Mark Young from the University of Edinburgh led a team of scientists who unearthed the fossilized skeletons of ancient crocodiles, Plesiosaurus, 6.8 meters long, and Dacosaurus, 4.5 meters long, dating back 150 million years. These fossils were found at 2 locations along the coasts of Dorset and Cambridgeshire, England. The research team noted that, unlike modern crocodiles, these newly discovered prehistoric species were incredibly aggressive predators. Furthermore, the skulls of Dacosaurus and Plesiosuchus were believed to resemble that of the T-Rex dinosaur, but their hunting style was more akin to that of the modern-day orca. They captured prey by opening their mouths, creating suction, and pulling their prey in. You see, these discoveries of ancient animal fossils in strange positions further affirm the wonder of nature and the process of evolution. Each fossil is not just a historical remnant, but also a story about the lives and movements of creatures that once existed on Earth. These findings not only shed light on many mysteries of the past, but also keep us endlessly curious about the things still left to discover. So, what do you think about the ancient fossils discovered by archaeologists above? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on more fascinating discoveries. For now, goodbye and see you again soon.